Well, 2016 marks the centennial of the women's suffrage movement in Canada, and we thought we'd drop by here on the campus of Ryerson University to see how the kids here on campus feel about, well, women's suffrage. We're starting a petition demanding authorities stamp out women's suffrage. Would you like to sign that, please? Oh, fantastic. Okay, here you go. Just put your name and signature. We've started a petition to demand authorities stamp out women's suffrage. Would you like to sign that?
Sure. I'd love to, yes.
Thank you so much. We've started a petition to try to get the authorities to stamp out women's suffrage. Would you sign that petition?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you so much. Like, would you sign that for us?
Women's what?
Women's suffrage.
Suffrage, like that they are standing for it, like trying to prevent it?
That's right. We're trying to get, the authorities to stamp out women's suffrage. Yes. Fantastic. Thank you, ma'am. We've started a petition to get the authorities to stamp out women's suffrage.
Okay.
Would you sign this petition
Yeah,
first?
sure.
Oh, thank you so much. Here you go. Here's the pen. What do you think about women's suffrage?
I think it's horrible. I think that there's a level of aggression that's out there, and they need healing, that they need to take self-awareness and really develop from that so that they can get along with the rest of all of us.
What's your opinion of women's suffrage, by the way?
It's obviously disheartening hearing about it. It's happening everywhere. I would love for more girls my age or youth or students to educate themselves about what's going on, because just like me, before I was very oblivious to stuff like this. I didn't know the depth of suffrage across the world or just in my area. I'm actually from London.
What do you think about women's suffrage?
So could you quickly define that for me?
Just the whole idea of, suffrage and women, and yeah.
Well, in general, I think women should be respected and treated as persons, even though you think that this has already been covered a couple of decades back. It's still an issue today, and I think that we need to create a collective effort as a society in order to at least diminish the problems that we're still facing today.
Well, what do you think about women's suffrage?
Well, it's not fair. I think everyone should be able to live without the fear of being harassed or anything. There should be equality. So.
And what about yourself? What do you think about this whole issue of women's suffrage?
I think it's a problem that needs to be solved, and the media should really take part in working on that.
Well, what do you feel about women's suffrage?
It happens in the world and it's unfortunate, but I don't think anything's gonna change, not anytime soon, as sad as that is. But hopefully,
What do you feel about those people that actually support women's suffrage?
I don't think it's right, but they believe what they want to believe, but in my opinion, it's not right.
What do you think about those people that actually support women's suffrage?
I don't really know anyone that supports women's suffrage in real life, so I don't know what perspective they're coming from when they support it, I can't imagine what's going through their head. I guess people have different reasons, every scenario is different and whatnot.
And what about those people, as I was asking your friend earlier, that actually support women's suffrage?
I guess we need to educate them.
Well, there you go, folks. In 2016, the centennial year of the women's suffrage movement here in Canada, there is no shortage of kids here on campus at Ryerson University who are, well, dead set against what the suffragettes were fighting for some 100 years ago.
Have you been microaggressed?
Have you been triggered?
Have you been culturally appropriated to the point where you're like...
Have you experienced a bad grade, a bad breakup, or worst of all, bad thoughts from bad people?
The stress of school gets to them, a bad grade, a missed class, being late, a microaggression, whatever. Even if it's just something small, it just feels huge.
Are you a victim of people holding opinions other than your own.
That's why we need to ban people like Milo.
Yeah, that's awful.
We need to ban certain thoughts and people from college campuses from coast to coast.
And you can't invite someone with those types of views.
No, absolutely
You've got to
not.
block those types of things out if you want to be truly diverse.
Are you tired of being kinda hetero white man splained to?
Every place should be a safe space.
We should have like calming rooms.
Sometimes it just feels like you need a space.
Like, but it would also be nice if there was like a room I could just go in and just like.
Being the victim of a microaggression can be a very macro, agonizing micro experience.
Fortunately, we have a macro solution.
We are demanding that campuses redistribute their endowments and their tuition to pay for things like
special first aid kits.
Like if you could know that you could go to an advisor and to somewhere and just say, I need emotional first aid.
George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Alexander Hamilton are all part of an infamous group of founding fathers.
It's an emotional first aid kit. It's a fun little tote.
For the very worst kind of injuries. Emotional injuries.
there's first aid for your body, but there's also first aid for your mind.
Yeah.
As a non-binary person living in this binary world, everywhere you look, there are these white dudes doing white dude things.
And as much as our department would like to say that we're super awesome and stuff, like there's a bunch of white dudes running white dude things, and there's misogyny here.
I have friends who would shout into pillows.
So I spend like the majority of my nights just like screaming into a pillow, like, God, why?
Personally, I would run into walls. That was before I was introduced to the emotional first aid kit.
We also found brave leaders at the University of Houston who understand our plight and want to help.
So like if you need help actually putting together the kits, I would come and help you guys.
We found faculty with more than enough time to devote to our cause.
They're really cool with me. Basically doing our work.
That's why we're installing one of these on every single corner, in every single dorm.
Totally free of charge, of course.
We want to give this to every single student, basically in the world, but we'll start here.
I'm like, what do you put in those kits?
One of the things we just started out with was just a very soft baby blanket.
There's an owl blanket.
That you can, it's little monkeys who are sailors, who are genderless.
One of the biggest issues is your surroundings and all of the people. So how do you cancel out people or your experience of the overwhelmingness that you're feeling?
When they're all like freaking out, like when everything is like loud, even loud noises. Just basically earplugs. You just pop those in.
You know, like an eye mask and like headphones
Just
with like with the just set to like, you know, the sounds of like, I don't know, kittens.
Kittens. You know the sound of kittens, and then you just go, oh.
The smell of lavender, because that's calming.
Yeah, right.
And then while you're chilling out, chillaxing, you can have a pacifier. Now this isn't just mimicking a woman's breast, it's also a way to sort of...
You know, I sucked my thumb for 20 years, so like also when I just, I'm going to go.
Suckle and the repetition of realigns your chakra.
We also have Hershey's Kisses.
But even when we're getting candies, we want to be careful about the kind of candy images we say.
There's white chocolate. Whoa!
Does anyone see a problem with this?
We have Hershey Kisses, and we didn't realize these ones would have American flags on them.
Sort of synthetic patriotism too. I'm more American because I wave a flag as opposed to walking the walk.
It's synthetic patriotism. Real sort of like conquer the world vibe. So we would never ever have a Hershey's Kiss with these, the symbols of oppression.
We know that we can't remove the invisible hand of the patriarchy, but what we can do is make it a little more tolerable.
But you don't think the barking would be upsetting?
I don't know. I hope not.
Okay, good. So we can keep that in.
In the name of asterisk diversity, we believe that certain people and thoughts have to be banned as to not upset or offend certain students.
I don't know. You know about this guy that's coming in a few weeks?
No.
It's like really hateful person. Milo or Miko, you know what I'm talking about?
No, I'm gonna look up the event.
Milo.
Oh.
Have you heard
Is
of
this him?
Yeah.
British journalist? This guy that looks like a weird Anderson Cooper?
Okay, sorry, I just got sick to my stomach.
I have two moms, and it took me a long time because I just thought because I have two moms that my mom's super liberal, and then I'm like, they're not. They're kind of conservative, crappy. You guys like contacted the president or the president's office?
We're going to work.
How did they let him come here?
They shouldn't have let him come.
You're actually not doing it when you bring these people in. Is you're not celebrating diversity, and instead you're doing the exact opposite of that.
Because the new definition of diversity is a beautiful kaleidoscope of the same idea.
If you're listening, baby, you're gonna be fine. Whether it's xenophobe, homophobe, bananaphobe, Islamophobe, yeah, we know. We made a kid for you just to make it home. We will no longer be silent, we'll make it known.
I'll tell you right now, in this country, women have more rights in this country than men do. But wait, you asked me a question, let me answer. If you really want to fight a patriarchy, you really want to fight for feminism, you need to go to like the Middle East because they need you there. They need you.
But at the same time, my two best friends have been raped, and every day when I walk into school, I'm tackled because men want to tell me what my body is. No, it's not okay. But then how do we not live in a patriarchy?